My name's Will. BridgeWorksGames.com. It's my friend Luke. We're working on an infinite take runner. I think by this time that you already know what we're working on because it's video 4. So this time we're going
Hopefully.
we got the turret to follow the mouse. When we click the button, we're going to get a little muzzle flash and then a bullet actually following from it. Yeah.
I like explosions.
I don't think we're going to do that.
Well, it's just going out. It's like exploding out of the...
It is satisfying. It is satisfying. All right. So the first thing we need to do is make... I want to do a flash. What do you think? Let's do flash first. Yeah.
Sure.
Did we get it? Let's see if we got it. So we'll go to our package manager first.
This?
Yeah, that's actually project. If you go to window up in the super duper tap, and then there should be project manager. It's 7th down or something. Yeah, there you go. That's the one. Now it might require us to log in, and this one didn't. And we do not have it. So let's go grab it. And we'll go to the Unity Asset Store.
Okay.
And we're going to look for, if you search for, let's do particle effects. See what that gives us. And what I'm looking for specifically is war. You'll see if you scroll down a little bit. Yeah, it is free. That's a good call. We could do that. And it's got some green text. It says war effects, and I'm not seeing it. So let's search that. If we go up to the top, but when we type in FX, we're actually going to do FX because they're super cool like that. Oh, I think I saw it. There it is. It's the first one past the ad.
Man, if that doesn't look like an early 2000s... Wait, what?
I don't know what happened. I saw you clicked it.
Yeah, I did.
Let's
If
try
that doesn't look
again.
like an early 2000s mobile game, I don't know what does.
This is somebody who knows what they're doing. They realize that if this doesn't matter. Yeah, click the add to assets button. And but they do some great effects. It's kind of fun. And they got some great muzzle flashes and some good explosions.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Open in Unity.
Yeah, that's right.
And then download, right?
Mm-hmm. Download and then import. You got it.
Okay. Do I do all of it?
Yeah, we're going to grab everything this time.
Okay.
It's one of the ways to tell is, one, it's not giving us that message before that was like, hey, we're going to edit everything in your project.
Oh, okay.
That's one. The second one is, you can notice the size here is 9.25 megabytes.
No, that's not that bad.
Yeah, now, the only reason we're concerned about it is the WebGL build only, well, rather I should say GitHub's pages, what we're using, they require only 25 megabytes. If you pass 25 megabytes, then they won't let you upload it. So we need to be...
I did not know that.
Yeah, we need to be a bit careful about what we put in there. This won't be taking all of it. This is just going to be taking what we use. So we're having a fraction of that 9.25 here, and it's fine. And then when we build it, it gets even smaller.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the... we're going to go to the script, and we will reference this object that we have. So I'll kind of explain to you how it works first. It's kind of weird, but this is our first time using a prefab. So the idea is we're going to have a particle effect, and it's going to be one that we're going to make copies of. And every time we click the button, we're going to be creating a new copy of it.
Okay, so like a constructor sort of, but ish.
Yeah, like a mold. And then we're going to be creating new ones for every time we build it. And it
just slapping that sick little wet resin right into that mold.
You know it. So that way our little, it can pop right out, our little particle effects we have. And it's a peculiar way to do it. It may not be the most efficient, but it works really well. Some people like to rely on they make a singular particle effects and then tell it to play and tell it to stop and play and stop every time we click the mouse. I found that it's a little bit hard to get just right because it also requires you to track the duration of the particle effects before you can play it again. It makes way more sense to just create a new one and then set a timer for about a second and then delete it. The player won't even tell this is happening in the background, but you want to delete these particle effects because they're going to start stacking in the hierarchy.
That's bad.
Yeah, it gets really slow really fast.
Yeah.
So we have to do our own garbage collection.
Really slow, really fast.
Starting in the update function, we're going to call single shot. But before we do, we're going to, so that's single shot. So that's going to make a single bullet that comes out. But before we do, let's wrap it in an if statement. And that if statement is going to be...
So why are we wrapping it in an if statement in the update instead of doing like a...
Yeah, here's another way to do it. We could do it this way. I think you'd like this one. Let's do shoot. We'll just call it shoot. So what this will do is this will allow us to if later on, if we have some booleans that'll say like, you picked up a pickup and now you've got fully automatic mode going. Shoot will allow us to make that decision. So we'll create a new function. So we called it, but now we need to make it. So it'll just be a void. That's fine. Void shoot. Yeah, no arguments. And then inside of here, let's do our if statement. And the if statement is if open paren capital I input dot capital G get mouse button down. Get mouse button down. Perfect. And then this is actually another method. So we're going to open parentheses and we're just going to do the 0. And what that means is actually an array, and we're referencing index 0, which is
click down. Or click like mouse.
Yeah, you're right.
1 or whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was mouse 1, but you're right. It is. That's a left click button. Yeah, look at you. You're good.
Well, I mean that is mouse 1 as well, but on Mac that's weird, right? Isn't that?
I don't know.
Don't you only have the one mouse button?
No.
You Neanderthals?
No, you can do. This isn't 1989, man. You can do left and right, but the text is not. Anyway, open your braces. I want some braces, man. Get to the end of that thing. No, not inside of it. What are you doing?
What?
There you go.
You specify, so.
I just thought you knew what you were doing. And then now we can call single shot. There you go. No arguments in here. We'll just open and close. Yeah, cool. And now we're going to write single shot. We're actually just calling it here. So no braces, and we'll just close it up with a semicolon. Yeah, and then now we're going to make single shot down below. Now later on, inside of the lines between 111 and 113, we can add in some booleans in there that'll say, if this special pickup is activated, don't do single shot, do full shot, something like that. But for right now,
do like a switch statement inside of this.
Exactly, you got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it also keeps our update function super clean, to where when we look at update, all we just see is shoot. So I think you're right. Getting the if statement out of the update is.
I just thought, since we already have it so clean, like, might as well keep it tidy since the rest of this is kind of.
I'm going to say you were right. You were right on this one.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's the first time.
That is. I don't agree. All right. Single shot. You ready?
Yes, sir.
What are we doing with it? We are. First thing, we're just going to make our flash. So.
Bada bing, bada boom.
As you will. So before we do, let's make the prefab. Let's reference the prefab. So we'll go way up to the top, and we can leave all of this. It won't give us any errors because everything is a void right now. So up at the top, we'll do.
Oh, we're gonna reference it by doing the draggy clicky thing.
Exactly. This one is
game object.
No, I don't want to do a game object. I want to do specifically its particle system, capital P, and then capital S. There you go. Particle system, and let's call it Muzzle Flash. There you go. So we'll save it, hop into Unity, and we're gonna find the one we want first. That's the next step. So if you look inside of your project folder, yeah, WarFX, we'll click on that one. And inside of here, we're gonna look for Prefab, I think.
Is that inside of Prefab? Muzzle Flash.
Cool. Yeah, let's do 4 panes first. Yeah, and then double click any of them. Now if you, on the left hand side, yeah, there you go. The angles are a little weird. Here's a great thing you can do to get rid of that light bulb. Do you see where it says gizmos inside of the scene? It's up in the top, and you can turn it off. There you go. Yeah, you can just click the word gizmos for right now. I think it'd be way easier than that drop down. There you go.
Ah, okay.
So in your hierarchy right now, you're focused on, yeah, wow, there it is. Thank you. So take the one you want and drag it into the hierarchy, Yeah, for right now. And I want to create, the reason why we're doing this is we might edit this. Like you said, we might edit the speed and we might edit some other parts. So we're going to actually create a brand new prefab altogether, copying this one. I think it'd be smarter. If you click on the assets folder inside of the project panel, and then you right click and new folder. We're just going to call this My Prefabs. Cool. And now we're going to take that one and drag it inside. It's going to ask us if we want to create original prefab. Yes, original. Totally different from the one previously. And now we can rename this one whatever we want. If you wanted to. We don't even need to. It's the 5th one. There you go. Okay, yeah, great. And then we want to remove the one that we have in the hierarchy right now. We want to delete that. Cool. Now we can do the thing that you were going to do. We can take our tank, click on that, and then we can drag it into the inspector. Perfect. There it is. We'll get into the code. Cool. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make one. So we're going to instantiate is the word we want to use, but we need to reference it. So let's say particle system. Yeah, there you go, because that's the class type. And then you can call it space my flash. It's just going to exist within the scope of this. Equals capital I instantiate. Yeah, there you go. Open parentheses. And then what did we call this? Muzzle flash? Cool. Yeah, there you go. There's actually a couple more arguments we want in here because it now knows what we want to make, but well, yeah, upwards to 9. We're just going to have 2. It needs to know what to make. We need to tell it where to make it, and then we also need to tell it what rotation to be at. So
oh, yeah.
Before we continue, let's actually go. Oh, did you save? Okay, let's it's gonna error out. Yeah, that'd be okay. No, it won't. Comment out line 119. Excuse me. Sorry for going back and forth a little bit. There you go.
Oh, it's fine. I shouldn't have saved.
It's okay. Now we are going to. We need to tell it where. And one of the best ways to do it is to get really close to that muzzle and to get right at the end of it. So if you open up the tank in the hierarchy, click the triangle to to open it up. And then, yeah, there you go. Now on the turret, right click the turret and click create empty. It's middle, right in the middle. Create empty. There you go. And then call this one muzzle flash position, something like that. Great. So now it's always going to follow the rotation of the tank, but we need to tell it, we need to put it right there. And you can do it by grabbing those arrows. You've got these blue and green arrows, and you can get it right where you want and keep moving the camera around. And that went like way far away.
I sure did.
Yeah, so just grab the red arrow specifically. There you go. And if you now notice the view looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can click the box right in the middle of that target. Yeah, and that switches from perspective to orthographic.
Okay. That's helpful. Then I can click on these to
There you go.
change that direction. So we
Got
just
it.
want this like in the center, right?
Yep, right at the tip. And the reason why we want it at the tip is when we create a bullet, that bullet will have a collision detection. And we want it to not collide with the tank. So it's important to have it as close but outside of the tank as possible. And that looks really good.
I think that's, yeah. That's pretty much perfect.
Cool.
So then how do we assign that to the...
What do you think?
I don't know, actually.
Let's go to the script.
Wait, like... What?
Your script. We're going to go to the script. Yeah. And then
What?
way up in the top, we're going to do public game object. We're going to call it muzzle flash. Maybe pose, POS, if you want. Because it's a piece of POS. Yeah, save it, and then we're going to go into Unity.
Wait, how...
Yeah, hear me out. Click tank up in the top, the most parent of the objects. And now we're going to take our muzzle flash position and drag it into that variable.
So wait, when we were doing this, we were choosing the position of the... Okay. Got it.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
Cool. Yeah, there you go. Sweet. So now it knows specifically where. So now we can go back into our script on line 119 and uncomment out that single line that we had.
So won't this be like a static position so it won't like rotate around with everything?
That's a good question. The answer is it will, and the reason why is because we made it the child of the turret.
Oh.
And 000 to the child of the turret is wherever the turret exists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
If you wanted to do world coordinates, you'd have to specify that. But yeah, that's the reason why. So our second argument now is going to be muzzle flash position. But that's not going to get us what we need because that's a game object. And so Unity's going to say, like, what do you want me to do with this game object? Yeah, transform. And still it's going to say, I don't know what you want with this transform dot position. So that's specifically where we want this thing to get created. And then the third argument is going to be capital Q, Quaternion. So there you go, Quaternion ON at the end. And dot lowercase I identity. And Quaternions are really annoying, but it's a way to track rotation. At the very end, I need you to go in between your semicolon. So if you delete your semicolon, it's this weird specialization we need to do. Space and type in as particle system. And then semicolon. So we're instantiating
redundant
it.
Much?
Yeah, we're instantiating it as a particle system. But there we go. So now we have my flash.
Okay.
And yeah.
Well, this should start working at this point.
Yeah,
right?
you want to test it out? It's going to create a lot of them, but we can delete it later.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
I can't wait to see the hierarchy.
It'll be great.
Yeah, let's just...
And then, yeah, make sure when you click, it's inside of the game box.
That doesn't look like it's where it's supposed to be. That's staying in one place.
There, right? It's staying there. What is the... Click some more, though. Keep clicking around the game box. I want to see... What's the rotation? Does it rotate in the angle that we want? Here's what's crazy. If you notice, when it's getting created, it was getting created, but it was under plane in your hierarchy, and it kept getting added. Did you see that?
Yeah.
We don't want it to do that. We want it to go under either turret or muzzle flash position. And as long as our newly created flash stays as one of the child of those two objects, it will always hold that rotation and position. So we need to set the parent. So let's go into the code and do that real quick.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward. So we're going to add a new line. And we're going to say myFlash.transform capital S set parent. There you go. Open parentheses. And we're going to set it to muzzle flash position. Now you have that as a lower M. Yeah, there you go. Muzzle flash position dot transform. There you go. And then cap it off. So what we're doing is we said muzzle flash position, that game object, but we specifically want the transform because transforms are technically not only what hold the position and rotation and the scaling size, but it also holds who's the parent and child of who. It stores the hierarchy.
Okay.
So that's why we need to say myFlash.transform set parent and then toss in the transform from the muzzle flash as the argument.
Okay.
So let's play that and let's see what we got. But before we do, before we hit play, so we'll go to Unity. Something kind of bothered me and it's hard to check. I'm going to create a material and apply that material to the plane to where we can kind of...
I was just thinking the same thing. It was bugging the crap out of me, man.
You know why? It's because...
Can't see.
You're a genius. And we're geniuses.
Oh.
Inside of the assets, we're going to create a new folder. Instead of prefabs, we're going to create materials. It's just for organization is really all that is. Cool. We'll double click inside of there.
Wait, why was there already a materials folder?
You know what? That might have came from our that FX game. So we can actually just do that. Let's delete the folder we just created.
Okay.
Let's just piggyback off theirs. Who cares? So yeah, if you go in their materials, grab anything dark, click, hold it, and drag it right into the plane. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Let go. That's it. Now it's kind of shiny, kind of metallic. So if you wanted something a little more flat, then you could, choose a different one, see what you like. And that's just temporary right now. We're gonna create our own material later, but for right now. Oh, you know what these are from? This is from the Tanks game. Yeah, this is from the Okay, cool. So now let's hit play and see what our muzzle flashes look like. And make sure you're always clicking inside of that tiny little game box that you have there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting that it's not. Oh, okay. It's
1 second.
Did you get it?
No.
It's still not setting the parent as. You notice how it's still under plane.
Yeah.
So let's unplay and then I just want to check. Did we save? Is that?
No.
Okay. Cool. Simple mistake. Oh, and we got an error. Dun dun dun.
Oh.
So click the console tab. Let's start troubleshooting. Got it. I know what it is. So we need to say in line 122, it's saying, hey, particle system doesn't have a transform, which I thought it does, but whatever. We could say my flash dot game object with a lowercase g dot transform. So dot and then transform. There you go. Perfect. Let's try that out. See if it's happy now. Weird. So particle effects is actually like it's a component inside of the inspector. So we need to go a step up and just say the entire game object and that transforms.
Okay.
Let's see what we got now. Okay. I'm a little happier with it. I'm still not this disco thing going on. This is kind of a bummer. I'm a little bit.
What disco thing?
Well, that it's wait, where did it go? Oh, I see. Muzzle flash has collapsed. Well, the fact that it's like it's flashing a lot.
Well, don't we need to just delete it after a period of time?
Maybe. Yeah. Let's try it out.
I thought that's what we were planning on doing anyways, right?
Yeah, let's set a kill timer. Let's create a function called kill timer.
So like set interval?
We're going to create a wrapper function for this, so that way it's a little easier to call in the future. So void kill timer. And we're going to put two arguments in here. We're going to have a game object, and then we're also going to have a float. and that float is going to be time. So every time you do, we've declared the data type game object. It needs to be a capital G though. Sorry. But that declares the game object, but we need to declare its the variable that we're calling it to. So let's call it obj, I guess. So it's going to be game object. Yeah, there you go. Space obj float time. There you go. Perfect. Okay, great. So now we're going to call an IEnumerator. So we're going to say start coroutine, capital S, start coroutine. So space, capital, yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's really hard to explain. It's C-O-R, yeah, perfect. Get rid of the R-E, so coroutine, and it's a lowercase r. There you go. Yep, that's it. And then we're going to open and close the parentheses. I know, it's super annoying. And then inside of it, call it kill timer routine. And then open and close those parentheses. And inside of there, we're going to put in our object and our time again. It seems kind of weird. And you can feel free to, for those watching the videos, you don't need to have line 125. It's called a wrapper function. And the idea is that we're wrapping it inside. So that way, later on, when we call this function, it's way easier. We don't have to call start coroutine kill timer. We can just say kill timer with the arguments, and it makes it a lot easier to do.
Okay.
What start coroutine is it activates an IEnumerator. An IEnumerator, it's a forking function, so it just makes it to where there are delays. You can slow it down a little bit. Rather than working inside of the 60 frames per second that Unity recognizes, we can actually pump the brakes in a function. And that's the only way you can do it, is by using an IEnumerator. So let's build the IEnumerator. Let's go past line 127, and we're going to go into, we're going to go outside of that brace. So yeah, that's all that function's going to do. It's just a wrapper. We do need to close it with a semicolon. Yeah, there you go. Great. And then here we're going to say the return type is capital I, capital E, N, yeah, N-U-M, so num, and then merator, IEnumerator. Cool. And then we're going to call this one kill timer. That's what we did. Kill timer routine, excuse me. Yeah, kill timer routine. We might be able to overload it, but just in case. And then same thing as the one that we have on line 125, game object obj, float time. A little bit of work now to save us some time later.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I do often is I'll create an IEnumerator called kill coroutine or kill timer routine. And later on in my code, I'm working on it, we're getting to thousands of lines. I forget to call it using start coroutine. I just call the function and it doesn't do what I'm looking for, and it doesn't work. We can bypass that whole struggle by doing with the extra wrapper.
Okay.
Cool. So inside of an IEnumerator, it wants a return type. So we're going to start off with that. We're going to say lowercase y for yield. Yield space return space new, capital W, wait for seconds. Yeah, not wait. It's like me. It knows I'm heavy. And then we're going to open that parentheses and we're going to put time in there.
Okay.
And then close it up. That's it. Cool. And then now we're going to say new line. We're going to do capital D, destroy.
Yes.
Yeah. And then open and close those parentheses and put OBJ inside of there.
Makes sense. I don't think you need to explain any of that.
No. Our D needs to get capitalized there for that one. It's a function that
Picky.
Unity has. And then one more line at the very end, because it's not going to like it. Yield return null. There you go. Great. Woo.
So is that just because... So what... Okay, I do need explanation on that. Enumerator. What...
Yeah, notice that...
So this is a function that's returning an enumerator.
It's not really returning anything. It's even though it is technically, it's going to return it to the start coroutine function that we're calling on line 127. So just for the sake of our conversation and our dealing with the code, it doesn't return anything that we need or is useful for us. It just utilizes that new wait for seconds, where it gives us that pump the brakes delay. It has to be an IEnumerator type. You can't do the new wait for seconds in a void or in a float return. It has to be that type. Yeah, so it'd have to be myFlash.gameObject.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only difference. So that's the only reason for the wrapper. But I usually always wrap my IEnumerators. But yeah, to each their own. If they, if the coders look at this and they say like, I don't want to have those extra 3 lines, it's ugly. Then yeah, it's up to them. Whatever they prefer. So let's save it and make sure it's doing the thing we need it to do. Yeah, now the way you can tell, it's almost, you really can't, it's hard to notice, but there's a little triangle that pops up. Yeah, right there, and then it goes away.
Or you can look at it and see that it goes away. That also helps too.
That too, yeah. Yeah, so I'm wondering if we, even though it's flashy, 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 the player might not notice. So what if we tightened our
timer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I don't think the flashy's that bad. So like maybe 0.25.
Yeah. I don't know how it deals with those smaller numbers. We'll give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
If it doesn't, I have an idea to get around it.
Okay. Seems to work.
You like it?
I mean, it could probably be a bit shorter. Maybe 0.125.
Let's see. I don't know if the IEnumerators go that tight, but we'll see if we notice a difference.
We'll see.
There is like the lowest is what we did on line 1. Anyways, where we said a yield return null is like the lowest you can go. We'll see what this does. Oh.
See, that looks good.
Yeah, you're right. Look at you. You did it.
It might. I think it could do with being further out of the muzzle, though.
Okay.
And that's just
oh yeah, Blender, so that's why you're able to navigate through the arrows so well. That makes sense.
That's more Inventor, actually.
Inventor, what's that?
Like it's industrial and engineering 3D modeling CAD software. That's how I could get into Blender's semi-okay.
Okay.
But cool. I'm way Inventor makes way more sense to me. Actually, I want to see it with the maximized.
Really get in there.
Yeah. See, that looks good.
Wait a minute. It's
or is it
the
backwards?
Wrong way. It's backwards.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Also, it's. Do you notice that it's changing based on where I click? It's staying stagnant in its rotation.
That's the problem. Okay, I was wondering about that.
Because it's sucked up inside of it when it's in here.
Okay, cool. We can totally fix that. Let's build a rotation. Remember, when we instantiated it, we told it what to instantiate, where to instantiate, and the rotation, and we did Quaternion identity, but we need to have a different rotation first. So first we'll go online before we do anything. There's a reason I'm saying first is, right there. That's what we need. We need to declare a Quaternion, capital Q. And we're going to build a new one. Quaternion, I don't know, my rotation, my rot, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, equals.
It's dirty.
I didn't know you knew about that. We're going to do turret.transform.rotation. I think we can use the turret's rotation and basically steal it.
Okay. And then we change like this to.
Yeah, you got it. That's it. I think we can use the turret. We'll find out because I think the muzzle flash's rotation is always going to be 0, 0, 0 because it relies on the turret's rotation. So we'll try it out. We'll see what we get. Yeah, what is it doing though?
It is rotating, but it's like sideways the entire time.
Okay.
You see how it's like if we go between here and here.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, obviously, we can't tell on that angle, but.
Yeah. Okay.
So do we just need to rotate the muzzle flash position? Like 90 degrees?
Let's do that. Let's do that one first. Let's do the... So right now it's doing the turret rotation. Let's do the muzzle flash rotation. Let's give that a shot.
What?
We'll go to the code real quick.
Okay.
And then we're going to switch line, and line 120 where it says turret, let's change it to muzzle flash position. Let's see if that one does what we need it. Yeah.
Okay.
Still the same thing. Okay.
Same,
but a little different behavior, but it's still the same problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just in a different spot. So is there a reason why we can't just go to muzzle flash position and rotate it here so it's at a default? I mean, it seems to be staying the same everywhere it rotates, right?
Yeah.
So if we change the default, shouldn't it?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. But what we did before was it was always following the turret's rotation. Your idea is that we would change the muzzle flash's rotation. So yeah, let's change the muzzle flash rotation.
It would still follow the turret rotation because of the code, right? But if we change the default rotate, like how the model is faced in the first place, and then rotate from there.
Yeah. Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
So add, I would say on the Y like 90, I think.
Yeah, I think it's either 90 or it's negative 90.
Negative 90. So. Yeah, we'll give it a whirl.
Negative 90 it is, but it's working.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. Yeah, it probably needs to go out a bit further again, but I think that's
good call. Yeah, you look at that, collaborative efforts.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix that real quick. We want it looking like it's exploding out, not in. Now I kind of want it angled upwards too, like 10 degrees or something.
Yeah.
So that's Z, right?
It might be both. Z. Yeah. Actually, if you change your camera angle on the scene, you'll see what the red arrow is doing. So just rotate. You can right click. There you go.
Oh.
That looks really good. Yeah. I think you're right.
15. There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, look at that. That looks great.
Awesome.
I'm proud of that. I like that.
Look at that double troubleshooting. Double troubleshoot? Double trouble? Oh, boy.
Yeah, you can barely even tell it's flashing. It's got like a slight delay to the firing, but I think that's perfect.
Cool. Awesome. So we got it rotating. We got a flat muzzle flash. Looks really cool. Couldn't have done it without you, Luke. Thanks for helping me out.
Nope, no problem, sir.
You're a good
I
man.
am here on my own behalf. This is volunteering work.
I didn't sponsor you.
This is not. Please help me.
I told you not to talk about that.
You didn't hear that, did you?
Okay, bye.
See ya.
Oh my gosh, I never did a muzzle flash for this game. We're going into uncharted territories. Cool.
Uh-oh. That's gone well before.
You're such an asshole, and I love it.